Well, hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Come on down. Here I am, sitting here with my all done hair and a little glass of Triumph. We're going to talk about it. So we start getting some people in here. I'll start talking because you know I can just endlessly do that. Let's see you. Come on down. Here we go. Here comes my friends. Hi, guys. How are you today? Catherine, great to see you. And Diane, my sweet Diane. Fun. When I see you, I'm going to call you out. Just let me know you're here. Thank you. I know, I did my hair, right? Oh my goodness. That's a lot of work. Hi, Diane. She's waving at me. There's Kimmy. Kimmy, I'm going to talk about you today, and I need your address so I can send you the book. Well, thank you, Catherine. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Vicki from Louisiana. Jan, good to see you. Jackie, look at everybody's coming. Hi, Kelly. Kelly just became a member of our Hot Melt Diet group. I'm going to talk about that because if you're not in there, you're missing out. That's all. We have some great stuff going on in there. Susan, Mary, Sarah. Hello, ladies. It's good to see everybody. There's Marla. Well, Marla and I have been yapping all day. No, Kimmy, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Val showed up. Hi, Ruth. It's so good to see you. It's like having my friends come over. And I hope Patty is here. Marla, tell Patty to get in here. I want her to see the hair. Oh, you want to know how to eat on your cruise? I'll help you with that. Don't do it the way I did. Okay? I came back with 7 pounds from my cruise. Those cruises are just lethal. You know, it's like, it's a minefield with tripwires everywhere. You just have to be really on top of things. And especially, you know, the thing that we don't want to be doing is doing the cha-cha all the time with our weight. We don't want to do that back and forth thing. Thank you. Hairdo, my hairdo is getting more attention than anything. I think I'm going to put my hair, I'm going to give a Facebook page for my hair. Oh, Catherine, I will help you. I will help you with that. You did the sprint, right, Catherine? And aren't you in Hot Melt Diet too? I can help you with both of those things. Yeah, you just need a strategy going in because honestly, not having a strategy, I mean, you might as well just put a feed bag on and just say goodbye, you know, to all the inflammation and what have you. Look at everybody's coming in here. Yes, do as I say, not as I did. And you know, it's so funny because Mark and I were talking. We met some great people that were in England that we hung around with and had the best time with when we were doing our Italy cruise. And you know how it comes up in your memories? Well, it came up in our memories, and we were talking about them last night. And you know how much fun it would be to get together with them. And one of the things that we that I was saying is that, you know, I don't ever want to go back to that place of having, you know, just coming home to a scale that just makes me want to give up, you know. You don't. Hey, Patty, I'm glad you like my hair. I said I'm going to get a fan page for my hair. I'm half kidding. So yeah. Anyway, so you know the thing we have to always look at is that to go in without a plan is to basically go in with a white flag waving. You know, we have to be very, very on top of things. If we're not aware, we can get hit from behind. And getting hit from behind is discouraging, you know. Look at Kathy. Great morning. Finally got my plateau and my blood fasting. Her blood sugar's 97. Kathy, I'm applauding you. Yes. I've worked with Kathy for a while. She was in my Take Back Your Body group. And seeing things like that just makes my day. It makes me teary. So last night, Marla and I were together, and you know, there's just nothing like getting together with your best friend and just sitting there shooting the breeze and talking about all the things that are on your mind. You know, we talk about everything. We talk about you guys. We talk about our lives. We talk about our guys. We talk about our families. We talk about everything. I mean, this is what happens when you've been friends with somebody for 19 years, right? And You know, the thing that just really, this is a thing that centers me and that gives me, that warms my heart and also just gives me an anchor in my life, is having, you know, a best friend right here. I know she's got my back more than anything, and she knows I've got hers, but we need that, right? And I know that not all of you have that wonderful privilege of having your body clutter buddy 2 miles away from you. So there's two things I want to really encourage right now, and write this down, okay? One is be in a community, some kind of a community. If you're in our sprint group, you're smart. You're in a great community. If you've already sprinted and you haven't gone into the Hot Milk group, there's a link here that's pinned at the top of the page. Take advantage of that and be a part of this group. As Barbara's right here, also known as Bobby. Bobby she sent me a message and she said, do I have to do the meal plan to be in the Hot Milk Diet group? No. But the Hot Milk Diet group is going to give you all kinds of recipes and all kinds of things. And there's, you know, I'm going to be doing a lot of coaching and a lot of teaching in that group. And it's time to move. It's time to move, expand, and grow beyond where you are now. That's why I created the Hot Milk Diet group. I have another group that you can go even further with. It's a deeper dive. It's called Take Back Your Body. That will be opening up next month. And I'm just letting you know about that. It is a closed group right now, but it will be opening up next month, and it's spectacular. And you will get a one-on-one meeting with me. That's what we do. You know, we want to move the ball down the field. We have goals, don't we? We have visions for ourselves of what we want it to look like. We're never, ever, ever going to settle. It's not good enough to just be in the normal zone. We want to be optimal. Our lives want to be optimal. The things that we're doing in our lives, we want optimal, you know? The joy in our lives, we want to hold on to and create even more of. And we want to spread it around. That's what we do. So speaking of spreading around, spread the joy, would you? Sharing is caring. If you share this video, this is exactly what you need to do to bring in your friends who are drowning. Have you felt like you're drowning ever before? Like there's just too much information out there. There's too many plans, too many ideas, too many gurus, too much of everything. I want you to come in and be with our community because you need a community. A community holds you up. It supports you. It brings you in when you're falling apart. And if you're brave and you speak up and you say, I need you, somebody's going to be there. It might not necessarily be me, but one of your sisters is going to show up and hold your hand. I mean, what more can we ask for? In this 21st century, where we are right now today in 2019, we need this. We need this desperately. This is the missing piece. This is why other things never worked. And if you look at our sprint group, and you read all the things that have happened with all of these people, for me, I have been a nutritionist since the early 90s, 25 plus years. I've never seen the needle move like this before, ever in my life. And you know what it was? I had a good plan there. I mean, I will take credit for that part. I had a good plan, but the plan was just one part of that three-legged stool. The other part was all the people that were in there. What Patty said, be in our community. It's time to go further with getting healthy. She's absolutely 100% right. You are not a one-man show. It's not on you. It's on everybody. You know, it's on everybody. You know why it's on everybody? Because we're all trying to do the very same thing. We all have in mind, our goals might be slightly different. Our visions for ourselves might be slightly different. But where we are is where we don't want to be. We want to go forward, right? So don't stay where you are. Go forward. And I want to celebrate right now with a glass. Do you like my champagne glass? Well, it's filled with a little LaCroix, but cheers. Here's to triumphs. I triumphed over chocolate last night. Cheers to me. I wanted to share that with you. And you have to understand the history of my chocolate addiction. It goes wide and deep. And I keep wanting to play with something that has destroyed my weight loss, that has ruined my good intentions, that has a road that's been paved with destruction. Chocolate and I don't get along well. We just don't. I feel it coming. I know what that trigger is. It is a massive trigger food. And when we were at Trader Joe's, Mark bought all these big, dark chocolate bars. And, let me just say this. Dark chocolate and I have a big love for that. But he can put a piece of dark chocolate in his mouth and suck it and enjoy it. And it just be a part of something that's just an enjoyable experience. For me, I see that bar, I don't care how big it is. I look at it like a beaver would look at a tree. Like, I'm going to bring that thing down, It's sad, But I am recognizing this. And I have made a big decision. Flip that switch, flip, flip, flip. So I flipped the switch. And I just, what? At this age, I am 61 years old. Uncle, I give up. And I have people come back all the time. They'll say, well, you should be able to eat just an ounce or whatever. Don't judge me based on what you can do. I'm not going to judge you based on what you can or cannot do. That's not what it is. It's understanding and knowing yourself, and that's how you go forward. I've had a bunch of people lately who have said to me, but I want to have my bulletproof coffee. Well, listen, I know about bulletproof coffee. I know Dave Asprey really well. He's prepared it for me. He stayed in my house. But I went through the bulletproof coffee stage. But guess what? It didn't work for me. I love Dave dearly. I could text him a message right now and say, I love you dearly. I'm not drinking your coffee. He'd be cool. Do what works for you and experiment and see what it is. I had somebody else ask me, well, what about fruit? I want fruit. I want to have fruit in my life. Okay, well, let's take a look at what that fruit will look like. Bring fruit in. Let's experiment. Let's find out. Let me just say this, guys. This is the thing that we need to look at. Always, 100%, every step of the way. You are your own inner nutritional guru. You are the one who sets the parameters of what you can and cannot do, and you will know, your body will tell you if you're tuned in. So stop it with the gurus. I am not your guru. Anybody else out there isn't. Stop buying all those darn diet books. Come back. Circle in. Let's circle the wagons. Let's go to the places that we know we can go. Let's go to the places where we have a trusted community and stay in there, right? This is what I'm talking about. Don't leave your community. When you go out on your own, you don't have anybody, you don't have a wingman. You don't have anybody who has your back. You don't have anybody who is going to say to you, where are you? I miss you. How are you feeling today? Why do we want to do that? We don't want to ever be alone. Loneliness is hard. It's rough. It's hard enough sometimes making a good decision, but doing it all by yourself like a hermit in a cave somewhere by yourself, wherever that is, why do we want to do that? That's why I'm saying all of these things. That's why I want to bring you in here. And I also believe 100% that when we're educated, when we understand what's going on with our bodies, we can make better decisions. That's my job. I'm the nutritionist here. I'm the one with the 25 plus years experience, and I will bring you in. I will show you these things. This is why this doesn't work, or see if this works for you, but I'm going to let you know. Red flag, this is how it could be. Raise the volume. Okay, my volume is up as much as it can be. Check your speakers. Everybody worked for what they achieved in the sprint. And again, we don't compare ourselves to anybody, right? What do we know about comparison? It's the thief of joy. What you need to do is you need to look at this. You need to look that your success is exactly what Estee Lauder talked about, right? I never dreamed of success. I worked for it. And I believe that when we work for something and when we put an effort into something, when we create something that is ours, that has our name on it and it has our signature that's uniquely ours, then we own it. We have the responsibility for it. And having that personal responsibility, that's the needle mover right there. That's the needle mover. With Marla, I changed her smoothie a little bit. Her smoothie is not the same as everybody else's. And you know why I did that? I know Marla, 19 years, friendship. I know her. I know how her body operates. I know what she likes. I know what she doesn't like. I know what she can do. I know what she can't do. Changed it, adjusted it. Now, you might not have the privilege of me being able to do that for you, but you can certainly tune into your own body. You can certainly tune in and say, you know what, the smoothie isn't working for me. It's too rich. It's too heavy. Cool. Bring it down a notch. I'll show you how. Just do a mini smoothie. Do a shaker bottle. Throw your fiber. Throw your protein in there. Shake, shake, shake. Put some coconut milk in there for some fat. You're good to go. Bingo. How do you like that? We did it. And that's what we do. We change things to make them work for us. We don't abandon ship. We're smarter than that. So I told you today, and I listen, I just want to say too, here's to your triumphs. You have triumphs. You're making little triumphs all the time. And I'm going to talk about Kimmy, who's in our Hot Melt Diet group, about her triumph because I felt like that was a needle mover. And maybe it was a small thing for her, but I think it's a good lesson for everyone. And I want to talk about that because I commented on it. I was proud of her. And she said, I relish cleaning my blender every day. She's brought in a new habit, and habits are important, and habits are things that we do on a regular basis. This is what routines are about, right? Routines bookend our lives so that we have a purpose in the morning, we have a purpose at night, and it makes things flow easier. That's the whole purpose of it. That's why we do this. But she said, I relish cleaning my blender every day. This is something that she's put in there. And my remark to her back was, when we have gratitude for the smallest things, we have victory in the biggest things. And you can take that to the bank. That is 100% right on there, guys. When we have gratitude for the smallest things, we have victory in the biggest things. She's created something that works for her. She's taking that time. She's added something new. She could have come back and said, oh, I hate this. Now I have to clean my blender every day. I don't like this. Blah, blah, blah. That's an option. But is it an option to getting you what you want? Will it move the needle? Your routines are critical, and now you have an opportunity to refine them just a little bit, especially your morning routine. Like, what are you going to add in there? I'll tell you what I did. I've shared, okay, nice hot flash, Leanne. I've shared my morning routine with you, what I do. Every single morning, I've got my clothes out. I'm ready to go. I jump into them. Sometimes I'll take a shower first. Sometimes I won't. Depends. Sometimes I'll take a bath at night. It just depends what I need to do. But I'll jump into my clothes. I'll go start making my coffee. And then the clock is on. It's fun to me to unload the dishes before the coffee is done. But when the coffee cup and the tea cup come out, and I use the same ones every day because I like that routine, I throw my tea bags in and go over and put it next to my teapot. And I put water in there so that it's ready to go. At 2:45 when I do my flights and it's tea time, I go flick my switch while I'm doing my flights. So I've got that all worked out, right? That's a habit stacking thing, but that's how routines are. That's what routines are habits that are stacked up. But I've added a new thing, that I'm not allowed to have my coffee, even if the ding ding goes off on my coffee maker, until I've done a 4-minute workout. And I've had a glass of water, an entire glass of water, so I can start off my hydration right away. Those are the two things that I've added to it. And you do know what? Today, and this is our human nature, and I know you've done it. Today I said, oh, I just want that coffee so bad. Just this once. Sound familiar? Just this once, I'm just going to have my coffee first, and then I'll get up and do my 4-minute workout. Well, you know what I said to myself? No, you won't. I know what that looks like. No, you won't. Do it now. So I just, there I was doing my 4-minute workout. Me and Zach Bush, boom, boom, boom. There come the squats. Did it. Then the reward was my coffee, and how much better that coffee tasted because I did what I promised myself I was going to do. Stop breaking promises to yourself. When we break those promises to ourselves, it makes us feel bad. To move out of that constant shame, constant guilt, constant, oh, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. It's to do the things that you say you're going to do. Keep your promises, and keep your promises to yourself. This is an act of loving yourself. This is the first act of loving yourself, by holding on to those promises and by doing those things. Can you imagine if we held on to the things that we said that we're going to do? When we show up and do the things that we say that we're going to do, our lives change. Change. We stop looking for rationalizations. We stop looking for excuses. We stop doing the dumb things that are bringing us down. I showed you my little graphic that I don't even know where it is right now. I think it's somewhere. And we're creating a neat little graphic for you so you can see the countdown to garbage carnage, how it works. It is how it is with everything. Marla was talking about that today on her show. She was talking about it today because that little moment of indulgence, of addiction, whatever it is, and this woman was addicted to, just couldn't get off social media or YouTube or whatever and get to bed in time and whatever. But there is a cavalcade, a cascade of things that happen because we make a dumb decision that we shouldn't be making in the first place. So if we go it back, we turn it back and roll it in, reel it in, and we understand that we've made promises to ourselves. And that when we don't keep those promises, it makes us feel bad. Even if we can't put our finger on what is it that's making me feel bad right now, why am I just feeling kind of blah? Well, take a look. Have you been keeping your promises? Are you a woman of integrity? Are you walking in what you said you're going to do? Have you promised to play with your child and then you reneged on that so you could go watch some YouTube videos and drink another glass of wine or something, or whatever it is, whatever your thing is? Or did you, suddenly duck in and you said, no more fast food for me. That's part of my food rules. It's off the table. And, you were hungry and out of control. You didn't plan. You didn't do this. And then suddenly you find yourself in the Chick-fil-A line. If that's where you are, you're breaking your promises to yourself. And every time you do that, it chisels away at your self-esteem. And it throws you down the tubes. It doesn't bring you what you want. All this hard work for what? You do all the hard work for the sprint, and then just suddenly you just I'm out of control. I can't help it. Yes, you can help it. Reel it back. This is why I like it. This is why I talk to you about making lists of, on one side, if I do this, on the other side, if I do that. It's a simple thing. Make a big T on a big piece of paper and write it out. Keep a journal and write it out. This is what I felt like before I indulged in something, and this is what I felt like after. And this is what showed up on the scale, and this is how I felt the next morning. And now I'm not going to beat myself up, but I am going to take responsibility for myself. I am going to stand up and say, I did this, and this is my plan not to do this anymore. I made a dumb decision. So what? We all make dumb decisions. But now I'm going to make a smart decision. I'm going to make a decision that's pro me, not against me, that's for me. Because remember what I told you. Your body doesn't care about your food choices. It's going to say, whatever you put in here, I'm going to flip a switch one way or the other. I'm going to flip it on the pro side, and I'm going to help your body heal. I'm going to give you the nutrition you need. I'm going to do all these wonderful, the list goes on of all the things that's going to happen. Everything. I mean, if you want to get down to the cellular level, your mitochondria is going, yay! But if you eat something that your body doesn't like, your body is going to say, okay, cool. Here's your inflammation. Here's a couple of ounces of some body clutter. Here's some pain. Oh, let me mess up your skin a little bit. and you're going to feel bad about yourself. And let's add all that cascade of emotions and make you feel like a big piece of doo-doo. The flying doo-doo emojis are all around you. Those are your two choices. That's what happens inside of your body because your body just doesn't care. Your body does care. It really wants that nutritious thing. It really wants that kind of thing. But you have an opportunity at any time to make a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. Are your choices good and pro you, or your choices bad and against you? That's what's going on inside. And if you don't believe me, go take a look at your blood tests. If you've ever sat across from a doctor who tells you, I'm sorry, but you're going to need this pill because you have this thing now. I told you not to do this, and here you are. Or you're going to need another pill for that. You'll need another pill for this. It only gets worse. I saw in the movie Fed Up, and by the way, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It says one meal, isn't going to destroy you, but 1,000 meals will. There's a good intention and there's a bad intention with food. And food is one of the most innocuous things out there on the planet, There's food that will heal and there's food that will not. I put a little graphic yesterday about French fries, just the difference between French fries in the United States and the difference between French fries in the UK. It's huge. I mean, both junk foods. Come on, let's be real. But all the stuff that we put in ours in the United States is geared for addiction. It's to make you addicted. And when we understand the manipulation of what's going on in the world of manufactured food, then we can make a stand against it. We don't want this for our children, do we? Then be an example. We don't want this for our women that we're in community with, do we? Then be an example. We don't want this for ourselves, do we? Then be an example to yourself of what it is to walk away from something that's harming you. It's the bad boyfriend analogy again. Break up. Break up. He might not be hitting you, but he's abusing you with his words. He might be ignoring you. There's all kinds of things. Your opportunity to move forward is just one decision away. You're one decision away from flipping your light switch. One decision away. Be a truth teller, though, to what's really going on in your life. You have to. You have to tell the truth. Because I will tell you right now, blood tests never lie. They tell you the truth of what's going on inside of you. And you want your blood test to not just be in the normal zone. You want to be in the optimal zone. You want to have the place, you want that because that optimal zone tells you that you are living an optimally healthy life. And guess what? That means that you are able to do more than you've been able to do before. You're rid of the pain, you're rid of the weight, you're rid of all the things that have held you back from being the best you can possibly be. It's that simple. Ooh, Leanne, you're preaching. So we want to go for a transformation always, right? We want to go for a transformation. We're always looking for that. How can we fix this? What do we need to do? What's next? That's what we need to be doing. And we have to understand that when we push ourselves, we're not punishing ourselves. You get that? So if you cannot do the sprints, stop comparing yourself to me. Stop it. The sprints, I'm sorry. The flights, I always say that. If you can't do the flights, you can't do the flights. If your knees bother you, your knees bother you. Then do something that you can do, right? Do something you can do. If you can't get out of your chair, then start doing some arm thingies and, go to YouTube and look at wheelchair exercises. There's no excuse for sitting anymore, just sitting and doing nothing. We need to get up off of our chairs, get off of our duffs, and go and do the things that we need to be doing in order to move the needle. So I have a bad food strategy for you. You ready for this? Because what I've been trying to do in the Hot Melt Diet people are asking, because Hot Melt Sprint is like this. It's narrow, and it's purposely narrow. Everything that we do in there, you have to do something. I mean, turn you into gardeners, right? I turn you into gardeners and say, start doing, grow your sprouts. I make you make soup and do all these things. You've planned well for this. And now that we're on to the Hot Melt diet, we get a little more variety. Yay, fun. Plus you get the coaching and everything else if you're on the Facebook group, which highly advise you to be in there because we're doing some great stuff. But people are asking, can I do this? Can I do the bulletproof coffee? I just went through that whole diatribe, right? Can I do this? Can I do that? Do it, try it, see it. Does it work? Does it bring inflammation back? Are you dipping your toe in the wrong pool? Find out. It's up to you. I can't make that decision for you, but you need to find out. That's number one. But number two is, if you are stuck in the place where and I've got these ladies, and they've private messaged me, and you know who I'm talking to you because you're here, okay? And it's this: you can't stay away from the carbs, and you can't stay away from the fast food, and you're hopeless, you're struggling, you're this, that, and the other thing. Okay, I got it. So here is your strategy. If that is you and you can't get away from it for whatever reason, by the way, saying I can't do something is telling your brain that's the path we want to take. So stop saying that, first of all. But just know that you have a strategy, and this is what it is, okay? Your bad food strategy is go and buy it. But this is what I want you to do. If it's at the grocery store, you need to separate that food out from the real food that you're buying. And you need to buy it with a separate, it's a separate sale. Okay? So, and then keep the receipts. When you get home, you put away your good food, and you take the junk that you bought, and on that receipt, I want you to write out what everything is that you bought. I want you to put it in an envelope. And on the front of the envelope, just write bad food strategy. Okay? The reason I'm asking you to do this is because I want you to be aware of what it is that you're buying. At the end of the month, I want you to tally those receipts. Is it worth it? Or could you spend that money on something else? Like buying your way into the Hot Melt diet. Or buying a good supplement, or buying something just for you, getting a massage, or doing something. Is it worth it? Use the bad food strategy. And that includes fast food. If you go to fast food, I want you to ask the cashier for a receipt. Ask her for a receipt. You need an envelope for that, and that goes in the bad food strategy. If you get stuck in that place, having these extra steps that you make yourself go through, it's like being a smoker and putting, plastic bags and rubber bands and everything on your cigarettes. So it takes an extra effort to do. It also brings in awareness. Okay? I want you to be aware, no longer mindlessly driving through those stupid drive-thrus. They're traps. Have you noticed that? We wrote about that in Body Clutter. They are traps. They see you. They know where to get you. They're purposely in that place so they can snag you. Get away from that. Put your bad food strategy in place. Get an envelope today. If this is you, and this is no condemnation. I am not food shaming you, nothing. I'm making it more difficult for you to continue on this. I'm making it more mindful so that you can stop the craziness. That is the carousel of crazy right there. Round and around, up and down. You're going nowhere. Stop it. And let's see if this strategy doesn't help you. And remember this, you're not struggling, you're not helpless, you're not this, that, or the other thing. You are as powerful as you want to be. Never pitiful. You're as powerful as you want to be, and it's your decision to be that. That's all. It's that simple. So I want to say that I am hopeful that there are people right now here listening to this who are saying, I'm going to jump into the Hot Melt diet. I hope so. We have a link right here. I want you to jump in. I want you to be a part of this next level of community that is dedicating themselves to going all the way. That's what this is about. It's not just about, oh, here's your recipes, here's your thing, see you later. No, it's a community. It is a community. It's the next level up. It's digging in and taking out the trash. That's what we're doing. And it's my joy and honor and to be your mentor and your guide and your teacher in all of this. This is a huge part of my own journey, and going with you is important. And I really believe that, with all my heart, that unless you've been there, done that, and gotten that raggedy ass t-shirt, then you don't understand what it's like. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be 237 pounds laying on my bed, hoping to put on my stretchy size 18 jeans and get those suckers zipped up without, catching my skin and my fat tummy in the zipper. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to cry myself to sleep, feeling like I was out of control. I know what it feels like to eat chocolate until the roof of my mouth is bleeding. I know what it feels like to get a picture back from Fly Lady from the grand opening of her first office, and to see the picture of me looking 7 months pregnant in my all black outfit, and saying, who is that? I know what that feels like. I also know what it feels like to have raging rosacea, to have thyroid nodules, to have plantar fasciitis, and to be racked in pain. And to have anxiety attacks because I didn't know what to do. Marla knows this. I used to have anxiety attacks, like bad, like I had to sit down and put my head between my knees. What do you think all that was from? It was from all the inflammation, from all the stuff that was coming at me at one time. I was going through a lot emotionally. She knows the whole story. I'm not going to go into it here, but don't we all have our stories? We do. We all have our stories, and they're profound and they matter, but it doesn't have to define us. We can go on from there. It's information. That past is information. That all we need to do is get the information from that and quit reliving it. Quit doing it over and over again. And that's why I'm saying that we are sprinting, because the sprint is our opportunity to not have to do this again. Our sprint is our opportunity to reset, and we get to do it once a month. Reset, reset, reset. But that doesn't mean we go off the rails in the meantime. And that's why the hot melt diet exists. So please take advantage of that. It's cheap. Coaching stuff is really expensive. I know. I have some friends who are big time coaches. They're charging thousands of dollars. We're not doing that. What I'm doing is just getting you in there. And I believe it's important to pay to play, because then we're invested. Then we're a part of something. And while we have our job right now of just, getting through the sprint and understanding what all is going on, once we've got that information, then we need to move to the next level. We can't just stay there forever. Got to graduate. Got to go to college. That's what this is about. So I hope to see you in the Hot Melt Diet. We've got a bonus session coming up. We have yet to schedule, but that's going to be tough. And if you've been dealing with like yucky, emotional guilt, shame, whatever, we're gonna get rid of that. And we're also going to be doing some really cool teaching and coaching. The fasting stuff yesterday was really great, and I really enjoyed teaching that. So that's what I taught, and it's in the group, and you will get access to all of it. Okay? So thank you for listening to me today and allowing me to go. We are going to be, I'll see you at tea time at 3:00. And by the way, I've got a couple of NutriCoach appointments today with several of you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to getting on the phone one-on-one with you. And if this is something you're interested, check out NutriCoachSchool.com and find out. Maybe this is for you. It'd be a cool thing. I'd love to talk to you about it. Have a great rest of your afternoon. See you at 3:00. Tea time.